Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to take a closer look at a tool most of us use every day, the word processor. It's so easy to just see it as a digital typewriter, right? But what if you could use it to turn a simple blank page into something that's truly professional and powerful? That's our goal today. Let's get into it. Ever since these programs hit the scene, they've been about so much more than just typing. They're really about how we shape our ideas, how we work together, and how we create documents that look just as good as they read. This wasn't just a small change. It completely set a new standard for how we communicate.
And that's the big question, isn't it? We all start with that blanking cursor on a blank screen. So, how do we get from there to a final, polished product that we're proud of? Well, there's a clear path, and we're going to walk through it together, step by step. Okay, first things first. Before you can paint, you got to know your brushes and your canvas. So let's get comfortable with our digital workspace. Understanding the layout is absolutely key to working fast and smart.
It might look like a lot at first, but it's actually super intuitive. Think of that big bar at the top, the ribbon, as your main toolkit. It's all organized into tabs that make sense. The File tab, that takes you backstage to handle things like opening, saving, or printing. And that little bar at the very top, the Quick Access toolbar, that's for your personal favorites, like Save and Undo. See? It's a really smart system once you know the names.
All right, so now we know our way around the workshop. Now for the really fun part, actually shaping the words on the page. This is where your ideas start to come to life.
Cut, copy, and paste. These are the three musketeers of editing. Seriously, just think of the clipboard as a temporary holding spot for your text. Cut lifts the text out to move it somewhere else. Copy just makes a duplicate. And paste, well, it drops whatever's on your clipboard right where your cursor is. Mastering these three shortcuts will save you so much time.
And just look at this. This is the magic of formatting. On the left, you've got your basic plain text. But on the right, just by adding a little bold and some italics, notice how your eye is just drawn to it. That's what formatting is all about. You're using tools like font, size, and color to guide your reader's attention exactly where you want it to go.
Okay, so our words are looking good. Now let's kind of zoom out and think about the whole page. This is where we go from just writing text to actually designing a professional-looking document. Let's start with alignment. It's all about creating structure. By default, pretty much everything is aligned to the left. Why? Because that clean edge on the left side is super easy for our eyes to follow, making it perfect for the main body of your text. But when you want something to really pop, like a title or a main heading, you use center alignment. It breaks up the normal flow and immediately signals to the reader, hey, look at me, I'm important.
Now, right alignment is more of a specialty tool. You're not going to use it all the time, but it's incredibly useful for certain things, like putting the date at the top of a formal letter. It just looks right.
And finally, my favorite, justify. If you want that super clean, polished look you see in books and newspapers, with sharp edges on both the left and the right, Justify is your go-to. Using these alignments correctly is a subtle but powerful way to make your document look professional. And remember, you're not just in charge of the text, you control the whole canvas. Margins give your words some breathing room, making everything easier to read. Orientation lets you decide if your page is tall and skinny or short and wide. And a big one, always make sure your paper size matches the actual paper you're going to print on. We've written it, we've designed it, our document is looking great, but we're not quite done. These last few steps, proofreading, saving, and sharing, are what separate a good document from a great one. And don't forget, you've got a little editor built right into the program. Think of it as your first line of defense. See that red wavy line? That's a heads up for a possible spelling mistake. The blue one? That's pointing out a potential grammar issue. Pay attention to these little squiggles. They're your friends. Okay, let's clear this one up once and for all because it trips up a lot of people. Save, or just hitting Control-S, simply updates the file you're already working in. Save As is different. You use that when you're saving a file for the very first time or when you want to create a totally new copy, give it a new name, or save it in a different format. Speaking of different formats, let's talk about the PDF. The name says it all, Portable Document Format. Its whole job is to be a universal file that looks exactly the same no matter who opens it, on what computer, or in what program. It locks in all your hard work. And that brings us to the golden rule of sharing documents. Your Word doc, the .docx file, that's your master copy. It's editable, you keep that for yourself. The PDF is the final version you send to everyone else. It's locked, it looks professional, and it guarantees that what they see on their screen is exactly what you created.
So there you have it. We've gone all the way from a blank page to a polished, professional file that's ready to share. You've got the tools now to create documents that don't just say something, but present your ideas with real clarity and style. So the only question is, what are you going to create next?